the rise or fall of the trad wife. Welcome to Change the Conversation with the Hopefulist. My name is Wendy McClure, and it's time we had a conversation about living in a patriarchy and how that affects our lives. Together, we can make a difference and change the conversation. Hello, and welcome back to Change the Conversation with me, the Hopefulist. Now, it took me 50 years to recognize patriarchy and how much it actually influenced my life. And that is why I now question everything. Because we've been fed a bunch of lies. We have been conditioned to take what is given us and be grateful for it. And, not anymore. Yeah, I'm on to that plan now. I kind of saw behind the screen, and I know the game you're playing, and it's set up for you, men, all men, to win at the expense of women. That's what it's all about. And I'm not going to play that game anymore. Oh, no. So do you know what a trad wife is? This is something I just started hearing probably this year. Trad wife is short for traditional wife. And that's what all the guys are talking about now, especially on the podcast bros. They're all talking about, I want a trad wife. I want a trad wife. I want a traditional wife. So what they mean is they want someone that does everything at home. They want somebody who does the laundry and the cleaning and the cooking of the dinner every day and the making of the lunches. And, of course, if there's children, they take care of all of that, too. Have dinner on the table every night when your man gets home from work because he's hungry because he's been working hard all day. But the problem is, here's the big problem. These guys want women to do this for them. They want their wives to do all of this, but still work and contribute to the finances. That's what they're trying to get across. I want you to work. You have to work 40 hours a week, just like I do, commute to and from, and then come home, get dinner started, make something that's not going to take a long time because I'm hungry. And then feed me, take care of the kids, feed the kids, do whatever you need to do with the kids, clean up the dinner dishes. And, then, I'm going to expect a little something. So get busy. This is what they're saying. And it's so laughable that they even have the audacity to say this with a straight face. Like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a great deal for us women. Sure, let me sign right on to that. And the thing is, we have been for like the last 25, 30 years, actually longer than that. The women really started to work in droves in like the 70s. So yeah, it's been like 50 years. Sorry. And that's what's been happening because women wanted to work so bad. Well, let me rephrase. Women wanted to get paid so bad that they were willing to do whatever it took to get some income that they could call their own. So in order to do that, most of the times they had to agree to keep up everything in the house if they went out to work. So they had to do double duty. And this worked for men for a very long time because they acted like they were doing women some sort of favor by allowing us out of the house and to go to work. And then they become dependent on the salary that they bring in. And now that prices have skyrocketed the way that they have, it's almost necessary for each family to have two parents working to bring in money to afford life. But let's say that you're not even expecting that. Let's say that, there's a man looking for a trad wife and he is going to pay he's going to foot the whole bill. He's going to pay for everything. So the woman gets to stay home. She doesn't have to work. So until she has kids, that might be a pretty decent life. You do the cleaning every day. You do all of the daily stuff. Like you take out the garbage. You've got to clean up the breakfast dishes. You've got to have dinner on the table. You have to make sure the laundry is done. However times a week you may have to do that. Get all of the cleaning done. All of the things that keeps a house running. Let's not forget about, making all of the arrangements. Where are we going to be for the holidays? What about vacation? Who's going to call and book transportation, and who's going to take care of the dog while we're away? The woman is in charge of all this. And again, it's probably not that bad if you don't have kids. However, once you bring kids into the scenario, the likelihood that you can continue to clean and do laundry and get the dishes done and take the trash out diminishes greatly. That you just don't have the time to do all of that like you did before. You come home with a brand new baby, and I never had children. I've never been pregnant, so I don't know firsthand, but I've heard that often women can't even take the time to get a shower because they're just on call constantly. They get no sleep because, again, women are expected to get up in the middle of the night with the baby. And if they're home from work, maybe that's fair. But if a woman is not home, if she does have to go to work after she's done maternity leave, then that's something that really should be split. Why is it only the woman that has to lose out on sleep? I've heard that before, too. Whenever the baby is sleeping, you should be sleeping, too. You need to get your rest. They're going to be breastfeeding and, doing all of this stuff. And, most of it falls on the woman just for biology reasons, right? The dad can't nurse the baby. Instead of being grateful that they don't have to worry about that, they try to push all of the rest on it, too. Well, you're the mother. You're more nurturing and you're better at this stuff. No. That's part of the story you've been fed. That's part of the conditioning that we've all gotten since the time that we were born, that women are just inherently better at this than men are. So does that mean that women love their child more than men do? Because I've heard men say the same exact thing that I've heard women say, that they just didn't realize there was that kind of love until their child was born. So you both have that overwhelming love for this tiny little person that you're going to hopefully bring up and be a very strong, independent citizen in society. So why is it always still, to this day, pushed off on the woman? Well, you're better at that. That's not true. It's just not true. Does the woman have to do the feeding if it's breastfeeding? Of course. She doesn't have to do it if it's bottle fed, though. If there's bottle feeding involved, anybody can do that. Anybody. And we've just been conditioned that men don't take care of the children. And it starts from the time that you put that first doll baby in your little girl's hand, and never give one to a little boy. It's conditioning. It's all been done on purpose to keep women, or to actually just put women in training. This is what you are here for. This is what you're designed to do. And this is how you do it. Start practicing now. So I think it's so funny how these guys come out and feel totally justified in saying, well, I want a trad wife. Well, no shit. So do I. Wouldn't it be nice to have somebody that did everything for you inside the house and all you had to do was go to work each and every day? That's all you had to do. And shower. I mean, really. Maybe get some gas in the car. Yeah, is there other things that you're going to have to do? Yeah, you might have to mow the lawn or shovel some snow or do some repairs around the house. I don't even think that's that prevalent anymore. I think most of the time that is, contracted out. So these guys just think that it's, well, that's what I want. I want someone traditional. Okay, so basically if that's what you're copying to, if that's what you're saying, and you don't take any issue or feel embarrassed about saying something like that, you obviously are just looking for a maid. You're looking for a maid, not someone to share life with. You're looking for somebody to take care of you in your house. And of course, somebody that's going to have sex with you on demand. And here's my other issue. How did we get to this place where women are expected to just be ready for sex whenever he wants? Like, whenever he wants. Like, our body is some sort of receptacle for men's wants. And this is very prevalent in our society, that we have to make ourselves available when our husband wants something, which, men wanted a lot. And here's the thing. Just because you want to doesn't mean that I want to. And we have been suckered. That's right, suckered into believing that we have to do it even when we don't want to. Because if we don't, then we're not a good wife. Because if we don't, he's going to cheat, and then we're going to deserve it. That if we don't, then we're not keeping up with our vows, because, there's nothing in the vows that talk about that act. But this is what you signed up for. No, I didn't sign up for being a servant to someone who, thinks that they can just use my body whenever they see fit, because that's what they're doing. They're using my body for their own desires. And maybe that's not what I want to do. And if you have a problem with the amount of intimacy you have in your relationship with your spouse, talk to your spouse about it. But don't go out cheating. There's no reason to do that. Again, we women are people that deserve respect. If you're upset with something that a woman, your wife, is doing, discuss it with her. Don't act like you can go do whatever you want because you're not getting your way. If it is that big of an issue and you really, truly don't care about her as a person and how she feels and what she wants and what she needs, then leave. But don't use it as an excuse to go out and do things that are wrong, because that is wrong. So often women are just treated like, if you don't do what some man wants you to do, they seem to be totally justified. They feel justified in treating you any way that they want. Well, she stopped cleaning up the dishes after dinner. Like, what did you expect me to do? She wouldn't put out anymore, so I had to go cheat. Like, these are all things that have been acceptable answers in the past. Not for everybody, but yeah, overall in society, men just seem to think that if women don't do what they want, then they ask for anything that they get. It goes back to the old joke. A guy calls up his buddy and says, I need you to help me bury my wife's body. And the first question is, what'd she do? As if anything that a woman did is, that can be blamed, that it's her fault, that she asked for it. And these are jokes that have been going around. I mean, some of them are on like cards that they sell in stores. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And we've all just gone along with this for so many years and never picked up on the fact of how wrong and how ridiculous all of this is, because we were conditioned to not question anything. And they really don't like it if you do. I can attest to that, because I have lost a lot of people in my life in the last couple of years when I started standing up for women's rights and started pointing out how patriarchy works and how it is extremely unfair and unjust for women in this country, in this world, and it benefits men completely. Totally benefits men. And here's the thing. I've been called a man basher, a man hater, all kinds of names. I don't hate men. What I do dislike is when men go along with the system and don't help to change the situation, to change the conversation. Obviously, somebody who's looking for a trad wife is not somebody that I consider to be an ally of women. But what needs to happen is that men need to call out other men. That's what we need. There's some stuff going on in the locker room, some, schmutty talk going on, and men are talking about their own wives. I mean, how disrespectful is that to be talking about your sex life in a locker room in front of a bunch of guys? And then you call it locker room talk. It's called intimacy for a reason. And do women talk about it with each other? Yeah, they talk about it to each other in their home or on, a call with their best friend, or they're not just out there making jokes about it. Men are making jokes constantly about women and their life with them. Just the fact that they're married, they're like, oh, well, the old ball and chain, and oh, you know how the little woman is, and these are all perfectly acceptable in society. But you don't have nearly as many names for a bad husband. Not nearly as many names. So what we need to do is to start calling out this behavior as something that is as ridiculous as it is. We have to make it sound ridiculous. That when somebody starts talking about a trad wife, you're like, yeah, I would love a trad wife. How do I go about getting one? It's as simple as that. I remember seeing a podcast episode with the Kelsey brothers. Jason Kelsey was going to the premiere of his documentary, and he was there in shorts, and Travis was kind of making fun of him. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm glad you dressed up. And he's like, well, Kylie was supposed to bring my pants because I was coming from football practice. So, she was supposed to bring my pants, and she didn't. She forgot them. And Travis is like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. She had to get the 3 girls ready. She had to get herself ready. And God forbid, she had to remember to get your pants, too. And Jason laughed, and he said, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I can't blame this one on Kylie. Because she had 3 other people plus herself to take care of. Why do we need to take care of men? Are they not grown-ass people? Do they not know how to take care of themselves? Can they not pack a pair of pants in a bag to take with them, to put on and change into after work? I mean, seriously, people, come on. This whole, men, they don't know what to do, and, they need help doing this. And then, you know what? Grow a pair. Grow up. Figure out how to take care of yourself. And honestly, if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you shouldn't be getting into a relationship with another person, because you need to be able to take care of yourself before you can start even contemplating being with somebody else that has their own set of needs and desires. You get what I'm saying? So get your stuff together, guys. Start supporting the women in your lives. All you have to do is stick up for them. All you have to do is shut someone down when they're saying something negative, like, well, she said no, but I know she really meant yes. Very easily. Dude, if she meant yes, she would have said yes. That's called rape. That's what we need you guys to do for us. We also need you to vote for people who will restore the rights to our own bodily autonomy. And I've been very disappointed in most men in my life that can't bring themselves to vote for the people who will restore women the rights that they very rightly deserve to be in charge of their own body, to be in charge of their own life, just like men are. But it's not that important to them because it doesn't affect them. Speaking only for the people I'm referring to at this moment. But there are a lot of men out there who just think it doesn't affect me. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to worry about prices of this instead. And I'm going to worry about this thing over here instead. I can guarantee you, if somebody took away the rights to your own body and your wife and your mother and your sisters and aunts and nieces didn't vote to restore them for you, you'd be all pissed off. And rightly so. And so are we. So are we. We just ask you to put people in charge that will treat us like first-class citizens, not second-class citizens. That we have the power to control our own lives and our own bodies. So make sure that you are calling out this ridiculous behavior and making it sound as ridiculous as possible, because it is ridiculous. The only reason that's gotten away with for this long is because we have not questioned it. And that is all changing. Yay! That is all changing. And I can't wait till the change gets bigger and stronger and more people are going to start pitching in to change the conversation in this country. Because patriarchy sucks and women are not going to stand for it anymore. If you want some more information, please go to my website at hopefulist.com. Follow me on social media. You can find me anywhere under The Hopefulist or _Hopefulist. I'm on all of the social media sites. I am on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I would love to see you there. Meanwhile, I want you to go out there and I want you to make a difference, okay? And remember that we are always stronger together. And I am always cheering you on. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Together, we are better. Please visit my website at hopefulist.com and remember to hit that subscribe or follow button.